ask you.
Because I'm not.
I want to ask you.
Hi.
I want to ask you. Okay. Yesterday, during the transit presentation, the LRT funding, it didn't come up. I asked the question at lunchtime. I asked the city manager and I asked Councillor Pat Sato, and they both gave me, their responses to why, both for the 2013 budget and then the longer-term projection out to 2016, they gave me their responses to why there was no funding included for the LRT. But I wanted to get your impression as to...
Well, the LRT is a big question mark, quite honestly, because the funding, even the estimate to date, is $1.5 billion, and we have no idea. Because when we did the BRT, we had an estimate. It went $30 million over when we went out to tender. The BRT is going through the process, but there isn't a design on it yet. It's strictly concept. So therefore, I don't know what we would put in the budget for it. Secondly, we're waiting to see what Metrolinx is going to do, what funding mechanism that they're going to be coming forward with in June 2013. Maybe the LRT will be fully funded by the province. We don't know.
You told me about 3 weeks ago, the Toronto Star, you said that there would be a possibility of a one-third.
Yeah, that's right, because that is what the federal government has decided not to adopt that program to date. They have told the FCM that the funding, they've asked for input from the FCM on how the funding might occur. So they have not said, the federal government has not decided that they will fund programs based on one-third. It's a big open question.
So the fact is the province...
There's not enough information.
Right, but we know the financial situation with the province.
Yeah.
We know what kind of pressures they're under. You've just told me what you said of the federal government.
In my opinion, the LRT will not move, in my opinion, unless there is a major injection of federal and provincial funding.
But don't you think that the city, the municipality, needs to also be planning for?
We're hoping that the Metrolinx that the province is going to adopt a formula for funding all the LRTs and underground in the GTA.
But
and
like
we're
I said,
waiting for that. We're waiting for that formula.
Right, but like I said, you just told me less than a month ago that a potential formula would be a one-third. Let's forget about the other two levels. The fact is that isn't there a likelihood that the city's going to have to raise some of the $1.5 billion?
I don't know. It could be that the province will come out with a tax increase or some type of tax that will provide the funding for all the LRT and underground in the GTA.
And now, just quickly, last question. Yesterday in the afternoon, you had mentioned that the LRT...
Well, just a moment now.
Okay.
The 2% that we're putting in the budget every year could be used for the LRT. So it could be used for the LRT. So we are setting aside funding for the infrastructure, and LRT is infrastructure. So we are doing...
Long way, it's quite a ways short of a possible $500 million that would be needed.
It's very far away. In fact, let me repeat, there's no complete assurance that the LRT will be built.
You said
it's
yesterday...
so far down the road, even the design of it, etc. It's way down the road.
Sorry, last question. Sorry, CBC's here. They want to ask something as well. Yesterday afternoon, in council, you had mentioned that the popularity, the desire for the LRT south of the QEW, you had mentioned that, perhaps...
There's two areas that I have had feedback, not a majority of people, but feedback. There is concern about the LRT going south of the Queen Elizabeth, and there is concern that the LRT will go further north than Steeles Avenue in Brampton because of people are saying, well, we don't know how it's going to affect those two sensitive areas. So the objection is starting no, I wouldn't say objection. The questions are starting to be asked. So at this point, we don't even know how far the LRT will go. If it goes to Steele Avenue, for one thing, I think it would be a big addition, asset. Whether it goes right through Brampton is another thing. They have concerns going through the middle part of the downtown Brampton.
Or whether it'll even be built.
Well, if there's no funding, it's not going to be built. And it's not going to be funded 100% in any stretch of the imagination by the taxpayers of Mississauga. I don't see it doing. It can't be done.
Mayor
The
McCallion.
taxes would just soar to the point that we would be taxing people out of their homes.
Hi, Mayor McCallion. My name is Peter Akman. I'm with CBC. Yeah. Just looking across at your colleague in Toronto, do you have any concerns about your own situation and what might happen here?
No.
None at all?
No.
Are you concerned? Or do you think Rob Ford is maybe getting a bum deal?
No, I'm sorry. I will make no comment, and I've told no comment on what has happened in Toronto.
What about your own situation?
I say, well, it's going to go to court, and it will be decided.
Do you think you've done anything wrong?
Pardon?
Do you think you've done anything wrong?
I have not contravened the Conflict of Interest Act, no.
Are you disappointed that it's going this far?
Well, you can determine why it's going this far as well as I can.
Why do you think it is?
You know why it's going this far.
I'm brand new to Ontario.
Oh,
teach me,
well,
teach me. I'm from Quebec, where they take big.
You better talk to Grewal. He can brief you and bring you right up to date.
I know, but I'd rather hear it from you
as to why I'm in this situation.
Can you tell me briefly?
No comment. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Where have you been?
Thanks,
taking a year off.
Where have you been?
In Mississauga.
Yeah, but you haven't been at meetings.
That's right.
Hey,
Yeah, well, I'm back now.
you're back.
Thank you.
Don't question whatever you do.